Hello and welcome to my channel Glen, and this is my vlog of my diary of me being in cryptocurrency. I started about 8 weeks ago, I believe, beginning of November time, and obviously I've been vlogging each step along the way of how I've been using my money or my cryptocurrency. So that you guys can follow this along. So I suggest going back and watching some of the earlier videos, but today I'm just going to give you a quick update on my Hashflare account because I haven't talked about that for about a week or two. Obviously envion's an ICO that I invested in, and also the markets, what they're doing today, because they've stagnated for the last week or two, and obviously I'm going to show you what the market's done since I've been involved in it, since the beginning of November till now, and show you sort of the differences of you know, this new territory that we're in with Bitcoin, because since I've been following Bitcoin, it's had a massive rise, and then just flatlined for the last couple of weeks, which is a good thing, I suppose. I'm not saying that it's always going to keep going up or it shouldn't always keep going down, so I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But let's get into it. Before we get into the video, please don't forget to subscribe. I'm currently, at the time of this videoing, got about 580 subscribers, so thank you to all the supporters so far that have been following my journey. But if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to click this little coin down here, or click the big subscribe button below, and put on the notifications if you want to receive notifications when I next upload a video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like this content and want to see more of it. So let's get into it now that we've done all our homework, our nitty gritty stuff. The markets, like I say, Bitcoin it's hovered in between 11 and 12 grand. Whenever it gets into the 12 grand mark, it drops back down into 11. And it's done that for a little bit now, so I don't know if that's potentially where Bitcoin's at the moment, until maybe something changes, like the Lightning Network, or you know, a major update or something like that happens in Bitcoin. The price does seem to be between 11 and 12 grand. That's where it's at the minute, and I think that's a really good thing, bearing in mind when I started it was at 6. So still doubled. Ethereum is at $1,086. Again, that sort of hovered around there. Sometimes it gets up to 1.1, sometimes it drops actually a bit below 1,000, so sort of 990, 980, but then it comes back, it's 1,030, 1,050. So that seems to be where that's at the minute, and until something or a news breaks otherwise. That's where Ethereum's at. Ripple's dropped down to $1.40. Obviously, as we know, while I was on holiday about a week and a half ago, that went up to $3.50, and it's just sort of went back down to $1, and now it's worked its way back up to $1.40. So that's good news for Ripple. Bitcoin Cash, that was at, I believe that was at about 2,500 at one point. It's sitting at 1,799. So whether that's a good buy at the minute, because obviously if it gets back up to those levels of 2.5 grand, obviously that is one of the 4 that are on Coinbase, which is the most popular sort of sites to buy Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. It's where all the entry level people get into it, and that is one of them. So it's always going to have a value because of that. I believe it's always going to be one of the first cryptocurrencies that people ever see, so I believe that's got a bit of room to maneuver as well. Cardano, if I'm being honest, I don't know too much about Cardano. I probably should, as it's the 5th top cryptocurrency. I just haven't followed it. It's not saying that I've ever been interested in, but saying that, again, that's in the top 5, and it's also the cheapest. So we have a circulating supply here of 25 billion coins, which is below Ripple, but they're sitting at, mind you, it's got a little asterisk beside it. They're sitting at 61 cents per token. So potentially that has room to maneuver. It's not saying I'd be investing in. It's not saying I'm interested in. Don't ask me why. If anything, I think that'll go down. From what I've heard, anyway, from what I've seen. This is the one that I feel has the biggest gains, actually, is Litecoin. So I don't understand why Litecoin is in 6th place. To me, Litecoin is the best cryptocurrency at the moment in terms of using it as a currency. It's always been cheap transaction fees. It's always been quick. It's got a good community behind it. Charlie Lee's always updating it, and you know, pretty much this is the test bed for Bitcoin. So anything that it may be implemented onto the Bitcoin blockchain in the future, they normally put it on Litecoin first, and Charlie Lee's quite happy to do that. He's always, you know, a lot of people consider Litecoin to be the silver of Bitcoin if Bitcoin was gold. So therefore, in my mind, Litecoin should be where Ripple is. In my head. So, and if that was to happen, obviously Ripple's got a market cap of 54 billion. Litecoin has a market cap of 10 billion. So I don't get why Litecoin isn't up there, to be honest. That's my opinion. I might be chatting absolute shit, but their coins are currently worth 195. That did go up to, well, I remember at one point it was touching the door of $400. Let's have a little look, see what I remember. That did go up quite dramatically. Let's get this peak here. Well, that says $366 there. But since then it's just sort of, let's see if I can get it there. That's 240, but now it's sitting at 190. So either way, I think Litecoin is, to me, looking at these charts, and in terms of value for money, I think Litecoin's got to be worth $300 at some point. It's got, you know, like, that's my opinion. That's my prediction. I just think $300 for Litecoin, can't see that being unachievable. Bearing in mind Ethereum was only worth $600-700 3 or 4 weeks ago. Now it's worth double that. I can't see why Litecoin wouldn't do the same one day. Just see it jumping up to sort of 300, 350, and then sort of stagnating around there for a little while. I don't know how much that would make the market cap, but still probably wouldn't beat Ripple. But to be honest, Ripple's a currency that is used for banks. A majority of the Ripple coins that are made, so even though it says 38 billion are in circulation, the person who made Ripple, he owns another 60 billion or something like that on top of that. So I believe when this went up to $3.50, it made him instantly the world's richest man. And you don't really want that from a cryptocurrency, I suppose. The whole idea of cryptocurrencies is that it was going to change the world, and you know, it was going to be accessible to any average Joe across the whole world, and no one could hack it. You know, not one person. It would take a majority of people to vote on things. It was fair, and to me, Ripple is none of those things. It's just owned by one guy who's obviously signed up a few banks, and I think people have just got overexcited about it, to be honest. They thought, oh, a cheap cryptocurrency. Oh, and the banks are getting involved. Oh, it must be good. I'll put all my money into that one. But in terms of actually uses, in terms of currency, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, to me, they're the best ones at the minute. But anyway, what do I know? I've only been in cryptocurrency 2 months. And then again, one of the coins that I do think should be up there, you got Dash, which has always been really popular. That was about 1,400, I believe, at one point. Now it's sitting at 839. But I believe that should be higher up, definitely above IOTA. I've been following like a few people on Twitter that are really technically minded, and they were saying on there, look, IOTA doesn't work. Like, people, it's worth £8 billion or dollars. and they were saying, look, it just doesn't work. It's not a usable currency. The ledger that you have to download is ridiculous. It doesn't update itself. There was loads of things they were going on about, and even the guy who owns IOTA was saying, oh yeah, this doesn't work, we need to work on it. But yeah, it's worth 8 billion, so I don't get it, to be honest. It seems like I'm in a market or in a place where people are just putting their money in anything that's cheap at the minute, and I believe one day that will stop. People will, you know, they'll realise that they're investing in something that doesn't work or has no use, or, you know, they've failed at what they was meant to do, and they'll take all their money out, and the first thing they're going to do is they're going to put it back into Bitcoin, Ethereum and Litecoin. They're the three that I believe have the most value on this whole chart. But what do you guys think? Comment down below if you agree with me, if you don't. And then you have Monero. Now, Monero is considered one of the best privacy coins that is usable and workable at the moment. There are some that are coming out that are meant to be even better, but whether they can actually implement it, get it out there and make it usable for people. But Monero is that at the moment. So again, I think Monero should be a lot higher up there. It should definitely be in the top 10. But we'll see what happens. I might watch this video back at the end of the year, and we'll see what the positions are. So I believe that it should be Bitcoin, Ethereum, then Litecoin, then you should have Dash, Monero, then probably Bitcoin Cash, just for the fact that obviously it is on Coinbase. And then from there, I reckon then it should be Neo, just because that is like an Ethereum. They're going to have smart contracts, and obviously it's quite cheap at the moment, technically. And that's it, really. I think I've just named them. That's the order that I think they should be in. We'll maybe come back to this video in December of this year, 2018, and see if I was right or wrong. So that's the market, guys, and I just wanted to talk a bit about Bitcoin. So I actually got involved in Bitcoin about the third week in November, and that's when I started vlogging. So if you go back to my videos, that's when I started doing videos, and I was saying, look guys, I don't know anything about Bitcoin. You know, hopefully you'll come on this journey with me. And at the time, according to this chart, Bitcoin was at $7,000. I seem to remember Bitcoin being, maybe I was looking at it just before I started doing the videos, but I remember it being around the 6,000 mark, and that's when I really was like, I need to get involved in this. And in that time, so this chart is from November to today, so it's 2 and a bit months. So you can see here that we had this massive run up. So this is when I joined cryptocurrency. It went from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all the way up to obviously its all-time high of about 19.9. And that's, you know, it was in such a short period of time. You're talking within 4 weeks. So in the 4 weeks that I joined it, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, Bitcoin's worth, you know, 4,000, 5,000, and now it's worth 6. I need to get involved in this. And the time that I did get involved in it, it went from 6 to 20 in such a short period of time. So obviously I was thinking, oh my god, this is going to keep going. It's going to keep going all the way up to 50,000, 25,000. And if you actually watch back on my videos, I did say in my videos, and I did get it completely wrong, so you know, I put my hands up to that. I did say, right, I believe that, because the price shot up loads when it was over the Thanksgiving weekend in America, because the theory was a lot of people went home, told their parents, told their uncles and whatever, cousins, oh yeah, I've been involved in this Bitcoin thing. It's gone from 5,000 to 10,000. And then a lot of people jumped in on it, and then it shot up even more. We had a crazy week that week. And I was thinking, oh, well, that's just an American holiday. What about Christmas? And obviously, more importantly, New Year. Because obviously, around the world, you have different religions. Some countries do or don't celebrate Christmas and stuff like that. So that's only obviously for Christian people. But more importantly, I was thinking New Year. Everyone, you know, celebrates New Year because that's just obviously the year changing. So I thought New Year would be a time when the price of Bitcoin would at the time go from 19,000 back sort of up to $25,000, and I thought we'd stagnate there for a little while. And that was my opinion, and I openly said that, and obviously I was completely wrong. So it just goes to show you I am a noob, and I don't know what I'm talking about, and these are just my thoughts that you're listening to. It went from 19,000 and it dropped really suddenly, all the way down to 13, 12, yeah, about 12 and a half, I'd say, $1,000, which at the minute sounds pretty good. And then it sort of went up and down from there. It hovered between, I remember it went from 12 to 15,000 sort of on a daily basis. It could be anywhere in between that. It could have been 12.8, it could have been 13.5, it could have been 14.5, and then when it got to 15,000 it went back down, and that's where we've sort of stagnated a bit. And then since then, it's saying here it did go back up to 17 at one point. That was on the 5th of January, so that was around the New Year time. That's when I thought it would shoot up, which admittedly it did a bit. I mean, we've gone from 13,000 on the 28th of December or 29th, all the way up to 17 and a half. So it did shoot up, I suppose, over the New Year period, but just not to the levels that I thought it would. And since then it's just gone down, 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 and obviously last week we had a big drop, which was supposedly the Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year or something like that, where a lot of Asian countries celebrate their New Year, or China in particular, sorry, and they withdraw all of their cash from cryptocurrency, and apparently it happens every year. Someone, obviously a famous picture's gone around that showed you every year this same massive drop around the January to, I think it was like January the 5th to January 10th, there was always this massive drop every year. So that might be something to keep wary of. So what I'll be doing this year, sorry, when it gets to about December the 15th, I'd say, so around about my birthday, I will be cashing out whatever I've got in Bitcoin, and waiting until this point again, January the 5th to January the 10th, wait for this big drop, and then I'll be buying Bitcoin then. We'll see if that happens again, see if history will repeat itself. Could be good profit to make from that. Obviously sell at a high, buy at the low. So when it was at this lowest point, it did go down to 19.6 according to this, and yeah, that was the best time to buy it, I suppose, as long as obviously the price stays as it is or keeps going up. And then since then we've hovered around the in between 11 and 12. You can see here, you know, at one point it says there it did creep up to 13, but generally it's between 11 and 12,000 US dollars, and that's where it's been actually for the last, what's that? So that's saying since January the 17th, 18th. Now we're on January 22nd, so it's only actually 4 days, I suppose, but that's a long time in cryptocurrency. So it just seems to have stagnated, although it's almost at 12,000 again now actually. But every time it seems to get to 12,000, it drops back down again. So it's almost like there's someone or something doesn't want Bitcoin to go over 12,000 at the minute, and every time it does, something happens and it just seems to drop back down again. So that's where it's at the minute. Will it have a massive shoot up again? Will it have a massive shoot down? I don't know, and I don't really want to predict it in case I'm completely wrong again. I've said in a previous video, which I still stick by, none of the markets at the minute, I feel like I'm out of it at a good time, because obviously I was gaining a lot. And then I put all my money into Envion and an ICO called Spective, and also Hashflare. So I put my money into those three things. None of those things are actually on this market at the minute, so it makes no odds to me whether the prices go up or down. And yeah, to me, I feel like I'm in a good place, because if Bitcoin dropped down to like 9,000 today, it wouldn't particularly worry me or bother me at all. If it goes up to 15,000, it wouldn't particularly bother me at all, because I've got nothing to win or lose from it. The only thing I have got to gain really is from the price of Bitcoin is my Hashflare account, how much that mines a day. But the amount of Bitcoin that I get each day is the same. It's just how much that Bitcoin is worth, which I'll show you in a second. So, yeah, I feel quite happy at the minute, even with all these big drops and stuff like that. It hasn't really touched me, to be honest. So, I feel quite happy with that, and what I'm hoping is, fingers crossed, that envion hits the market as it's on a rise, and obviously the envion tokens join that wave, and they obviously go up in price with them, and then obviously I'm interested to also see what the dividend payouts are. So with a lot of these coins, obviously really the only value you have in them is that if you buy them and you sit on them and wait for them to go up in price, and then you sell them again. I can't see, apart from like obviously using them as a currency to pay for things, there isn't really much benefit from an average Joe point of view. You know, I mean, I know Ethereum has obviously the smart contract, so ICOs and businesses like that, Ripple, the banks use that to transfer money from bank to bank instantly. But obviously for the average Joe, person like me, really, if he was to buy these coins, the only thing that you would do with them is buy them, hold on to them, and then send them, sell them back on, and hopefully make some profit. Whereas the envion tokens, obviously that I'm receiving, they're going to start paying me a dividend. So even if I just hold on to them, I'm earning money. And obviously if I sell them, hopefully if they go up in price, I'll make some money as well. So I'm covered both ways, I suppose. And that all depends on their mining operations. So fingers crossed, I'm onto a winner with that one. The Spective one is a more long term. I believe that, you know, theirs is to do with copywriting, like video for video creators and content, and no matter where my videos get shared or posted, I earn whatever viewership that gets. But that's not just me, obviously that's over the whole of the internet, and you think how much now is all video. Even adverts, they're all video clips now, aren't they, online? So I just think video's the way forward with the internet. So yeah, that's it really, guys. That's the markets. That's probably the most I've talked about them in a while. I've got some money in Verge. Remember, I've got that $60 or something in Verge. It seems like it's gone down all over the place, so probably not the best investment in the world. And that was no reason for me buying that. I don't particularly like Verge or have any attachment to them at all. But I was just trying it out. I was just trying out exchanges, because I've never done anything like that. You know, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there that will show you trading bots and stuff like that, but I've never done anything like that. So I just wanted to buy a coin with Bitcoin and see how easy it was to change between one to the other and stuff like that, using a small amount of money that I don't care if I lose. Honestly, I don't care if I lose that. I haven't even checked it, to be honest. So that's a bit naughty from me, I suppose. Oh, the other one I would like to check actually is the BitConnect. I wonder if that's gone up or down. $18 US. I'm surprised it's still worth that, to be honest. Let's have a look in the last week or so. They had a massive slump, obviously. But then it went up a bit. You can see here, it went from $21 up to $40 or $43 there, and even at this point, $78 it went back up to. And this is what I'm talking about. Anywhere else in the world, if say there was a stock and shares of a company, say like Apple, and Apple announced that, I don't know, they copied a pattern off Samsung, and Samsung are going to sue them, which I know happens all times. That's a bad example. But say if a new sort of up and coming company, and it was like, they've been found to commit, you know, fraud or tax evasion or something like that, the price of their shares would go straight down. And then obviously if it came out that, you know, it was just a misunderstanding or whatever, a news report, it would go back up again. BitConnect this is cryptocurrency. BitConnect have come out and shut down their lending service and said it's not working. We can't afford to pay everyone, so we're shutting the lending program down. I know they didn't use those words, but that's what I took from it. And in that, they've said to everyone, we'll pay you back the tokens that you had invested in us. But then their price of their tokens went down to nothing. So, you know, you probably didn't. If you put in like £1,000, you'd be lucky to get, you know, $40 out now. So a lot of people lost money. Big money. A lot of hatred for people on YouTube that were advertising and pushing the BitConnect. So I thought, oh, this BitConnect is going to be worth nothing in the next. And it you know, it was obviously at its high. It was $440, you know, and now it's worth 18. But I'm surprised who still owns these coins at that price. You know, that makes it worth more than, say, an up-and-coming project that is actually doing something good. You know, it's still worth, according to this, 173 million. Is that? So I don't get it. I just don't get how people can keep buying something that is openly invest in a company that is scamming people, that obviously made off with a load of money. And bearing in mind, everyone paid for their services with Bitcoin, and they've paid everyone back out in BitConnect tokens. So what happened to all their Bitcoin? Now, their Bitcoin, you assume they kept hold of. Someone's still sitting there pretty with all that, you know, hundreds and thousands of Bitcoin that they probably accumulated in that time. And obviously, as soon as the Bitcoin price goes up, they're going to be still laughing, aren't they? So yeah, it annoys me that, you know, people can rip people off and somehow still get away with it and still earn money from it. I haven't got a very particularly good opinion of BitConnect. And that's it, guys. The one that I know that a lot of YouTubers are talking about, or a few of them anyway, like Superman and Crypto Daily, they were talking about the internet node of things or something like that. I'm sorry if I pronounced that completely wrong. Internet node token. And that's gone up to 86 cents. That was only it was half that, I think, before they mentioned it. Oh, it was at 20. Let's have a look in the last month, because I saw them talking about it, I think, about a week ago. Is that a month? Or is that 7 days? It's gone from about 50 cent, went all the way up to $1 something, and now it's hovering around about the 80 cent. So that's one to keep an eye on. And that's it really, guys. So that's the markets. Anyway, I've talked enough about that, and obviously you can do your own homework, but I just thought I'd give my opinions, because I haven't really done a video of me talking about the you know, going on CoinMarketCap for a little while. I sort of just quickly touch on it. So I just thought I'd share with you guys what my thoughts were on the market. So that's it. So Envion, how are we getting on with them? So they have posted a few things recently. It seems to be know your customers completed and getting all the money finalized and all the tokens sent out to everyone. So I'll read you a post that they posted yesterday. Hi everyone, here are some announcements and updates. Know your customer documents are still being verified for some investors, and second know your customer verifier will review remaining documents. Token distribution is still in process. Soon, but not immediately, after your know your customer is successful, you will receive an email to authorize the token unlocking process, which I actually received. So I think I showed you guys, I received an email from Envion saying unlock your tokens now. which I'd done. I followed their process, and you had to agree to their new terms and conditions, which I did. And I can't remember when that was, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, and my tokens are still locked. So I'm in the same boat as you guys. The distribution of millions of tokens will take time on an already slow Ethereum network. If you invested by paying with BTC or credit card, we will inform you about wallet transfer soon. Stay tuned for announcements. So if you paid by credit card or Bitcoin, I can't imagine why Bitcoin would take much longer than Ethereum, because, I mean, I bought mine over a month ago. So, you know, I don't know. But the credit card ones I completely understand. My friend, I won't say his name, but one of my friends, he's invested more than me actually. He's got 2,000 tokens, but he paid all with credit card. So I sort of told him, I think you're going to have to wait 4 to 6 months before your tokens will be released to you. Which means no matter what the price does over the next few months, he can't do anything about it. He just has to sit there and wait, which is unfortunate for him. New links for any investors whose documents were not supported at ID Now should be emailed out. The envion support team is answering requests in order they come in, so please only send one email, and for updates and replies use the same thread or ticket. We will get to your requests as soon as we can. I haven't sent them any emails, so I don't know what their time frame is with that in a minute. But this one I thought was quite interesting. Please remember, we are the most compliant ICO yet. Whether they are or not, I don't know, but that's quite a bold statement. The number 6 ICO of all time, and we have a working product with contracts set in place to start mass production. We want your investment and your know your customer to go through. We want to see your tokens, and we want to foster an exciting envion community. If we have to go a little slower to make sure we do all the steps and do them the right way, then we will. Thank you for everyone for your patience, and know we are working on all the resolutions. So I thought this was a really good update actually. Sometimes you get companies come out and just say, yeah, it's taking a bit longer than usual, and it starts ringing alarm bells off in people's heads. But saying things like, we're trying to be the most compliant ICO, and if we feel it's more secure to do it in a slower way, then we will. That sort of reassures me, because I'm like, yeah, actually, why am I in such a rush? Even if I had the tokens in my wallet today, I can't do anything with them because they're not on sale at the minute. They're not on any exchange. Probably the only thing I could do is transfer them to another wallet, and that's it. So I don't mind if they take another week. It's not something that bothers me, and it's refreshing to hear that from them guys. They seem to know what they're doing, and I'd rather them do the job properly, to be honest. But that's just me. What do you guys think? I know a lot of you have had issues either with the know your customer forms or documents, ID. I want to buy envion tokens. Where can I buy? Nowhere at the minute. I can give you some for $10 a piece. So people already trying to sell their tokens actually. Envion tokens will be traded in plus 500. So these are posts that people put. Any price predictions of one envion token. So this post they put on here actually has got some interesting replies. Some people saying $1.30, some people saying $5, $10, $20, $100, $50. I believe one guy put 1,196. So yeah, some very wild predictions there of what it's going to be. It probably will be worth, I reckon, about $2 when it first, and that's doubling your money. So I think that's really good. And I think over time it will go up to $10 to maybe $20 at some point, but that's in the future, not now. So yeah, I'm quite happy with envion. They said that HitBTC have said they're going to try and put the coins on the exchange out on the 23rd 5th of January, so what's that? That's in 3 days time actually, so hopefully I'll be able to do a video for you guys by the end of this week of obviously the tokens going on sale with an exchange and how much they're going on for, so that's good news. So that's it really for Envion. My Hashflare account, so like I said to you guys, with the price of Bitcoin going up and down, it doesn't really affect me too much because the amount of Bitcoin that I'm receiving every day, this figure here, if you go back and watch one of my older videos, you'll know that this has always been roughly the same. It's and I haven't reinvested for about a week now, so I've stayed at 21.43 terahashes. But the only thing that does change is this bit here. Sometimes that goes up to $30. It went up to $38 the other day. And then it went down the other day as well to $21. Yeah, so that's the only thing that really affects me is how much my Bitcoin is worth in this account, I suppose. I've been really happy with Hashflare. Obviously, I'm at 21 terahashes now. It says here, the only thing that does seem to go down, obviously, is when the difficulty goes up. So if the difficulty of mining Bitcoin goes up, which obviously it does every sort of couple of weeks, the amount of Bitcoin that you mine in each day goes down because you need more power to work out the same amount of transactions. Whereas if your power is staying still, so if I keep at 21 terahashes, the amount of Bitcoin reward I'll get for that 21 terahash will keep going down, 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 down. So I'm no longer mining. I was mining like 0.99 at one point, I believe. So almost one whole Bitcoin, which is my goal. I'd love to own one whole Bitcoin at some point. But according to this, I'm now only getting 0.88. So that begs the question, should I keep reinvesting to compensate for that? And then obviously hopefully at one point I'll be mining enough where I can almost make withdrawals on a weekly basis. Or should I just keep it as it is and see what I end up with? Maybe over the course of a year, that will probably go down to 0.5 or 0.6 of a Bitcoin. So maybe half. So it's a tough one actually. I've built up 0.0097, so that's about 110 US dollars worth. So I'm getting about $25 to $30 a day. I've only been non-reinvesting, I think, for about, I don't know, 5 days now, something like that. But what I was hoping is, I was hoping the price of Bitcoin would jump up at some point, even if, you know, not massively, even if it went up to 13, 14,000, and then I go in and buy some more hash rate, because obviously the US dollar price per gigahash stays the same. And obviously you wait, I know, half a day or a day and they update how much Bitcoin equates to that many dollars. Therefore I'd be able to buy obviously more. So at the minute I'd be able to buy, it's actually $114 worth, so I could buy half a terahash at the minute. But what I was thinking is, obviously if I hold on to my Bitcoin rather than buying a small amount of terahash now, would it be better for me to wait for the price of Bitcoin to go up a bit to maybe 13,000, and then I'd be able to buy maybe, you know, 3/4 or a whole terahash or something like that? Or should I just keep waiting? The only thing that does annoy me with Hashflare is that to make a withdrawal you have to hit 0.0502. So I have to wait until this gets to 0.05. So bearing in mind it's taken me about 5 days to get to 0.00097. So therefore it would take me, say, a week to get to 0.001, and it would take me 5 weeks to get to 0.005. So it would take me about a month and a half to actually make a withdrawal. So that is a bit frustrating. I would like to be able to say that I could do a withdrawal. You know, some people invest obviously tens of thousands into this website and they can withdraw money every day, because obviously instead of mining 0.0024 every day, you know, if you're mining 0.001 it would only take you 5 days, and then you'd be able to make a withdrawal. But that means you'd be earning, you know, what's that? It's going to be about $280 a day. So that is a bit annoying. I would love to be able to make a withdrawal now and show you guys. But saying that, I would like to keep going with Hashflare. If I can make my money back, as I've been open with before in the videos, my whole cryptocurrency journey since the beginning of November to today, I've spent 2,600, I believe, if I remember rightly. I forgot then. 2,600 on cryptocurrency, everything. So that's any Bitcoin I've ever bought, any Hashflare, envion, everything I've ever done. So this little project of mine, this little side project, me doing cryptocurrency in between my work life and family life, I've spent 2,600, and that's been over the last 2.5 months. If I can make that money back either through Hashflare or envion, I'll make that money back, pay that money back into where I took it out from, and then I'm completely break free, even, and everything from that point onwards has cost me nothing. So if it makes me money in the future, then happy days. It's all literally for nothing. So that was my goal. And even with when I was talking about buying a miner, so like an S9, I was always in that mindset of buying something, making it pay for itself, and paying that back, and then anything it earns after that is complete extra, because then you're just living on profit every day, which is the dream. So if I can make the money back with envion, maybe I will just reinvest, because this will be essentially this 21 terahash has cost me nothing. Do I think it's a good investment at the minute? So let's work that out, actually, because I haven't done this for a while, and obviously things change on a daily basis. I believe Bitcoin is due to go up at some point, but I don't want to definitely put a bet on that, because I've been wrong in the past. So at the minute I've got 21.43 terahashes, 214300, is that right? No, one less zero. Yeah. So it costs us nothing in power, no power cost. The pool fees, I believe I worked it out last time to be, was it 12.5%? Let's just say 14%, just to cover ourselves. Oh, 14.25. There we go, we'll do that. That's the current Bitcoin difficulty, so I'm going to trust that that is right. Block reward 12.5. It's saying Bitcoin to US dollar 12.6. Their Bitcoin price, I don't know where they get it from. It's always like £1,000 more than it should be. Saying that, this hasn't changed loads in the last 20 minutes. No, it's 11.8. So let's put that in. 11.8. So the cost of that, all in total, I've put in 1,650 into Hashflare. That's how much money I put into Hashflare all in total. And actually, yeah, that was US dollars. Yeah. So calculate that. Let's see where we're at. This is saying that I would break even in 67 days. It says that I should be earning 24 US dollars a day, which is about right, actually. Yeah, so 24 US dollars a day. A week I should be earning 171, which in the last 5 days I've earned about 115 US dollars. So add 2 more days onto that, and that's about right, actually. Monthly $734 dollars, and then over the whole year 8,933. So definitely a profitable, and that's actually about right there. So 0.882, and they've put on there, bearing in mind theirs is with 8843. So obviously they need to take their fee out, which obviously is going to make that a bit lower. So that is yeah, it's all right, I suppose. everything seems legit there, and based on my experience, because before I was just trusting what these guys said, this website, and saying, oh, this is what I should earn. Obviously, I've been using Hashflare now for about a month and a half, so I can honestly say that these figures are right. I am achieving that a day, and I am achieving that a week if I was to not reinvest. And that's the first time I've had that's the first time in this whole, obviously, vlog journey that I could actually say, yeah, based on my experiences, that's how much I've earned. So, actually, these are still very profitable. Although saying that, obviously, the only reason that I have that amount of hash power, one is people using my referral link, which I think I've had 11 people use that. Some of them small, some of them a bit larger. But if you was to buy 21 terahashes now, the prices of Hashflare, they went up. So if you was to buy 21 terahashes, let's have a look. There you go, 21.5. That actually set you back 4,730. So let's 4,730. Then obviously, like it's saying here, to break even it's 193 days. And obviously you'd earn 8,900. So then your money is, you're still doubling your money over the course of a year, depending on the difficulty rating. So still a good investment, maybe doubling your money within a year. Also, the good thing with these guys is that reinvestment option. So you know, if you use 10 terahash, say for example, you would start mining, let's do that, let's do 10 terahash, everything all the same, and that would set you back $2,200, 2,200. You'd be earning $11 a day and about $80 a week. But then obviously if you was earning $11 a day, you could be buying, if you did the reinvestment option, 50 gigahashes per day, and then obviously again it snowballs. So the next day you would be earning, you know, 11.6, then $11.7 a day. And then eventually you would be able to buy 60 gigahashes a day. So then you'd be able to go up even faster. And that's how I got to 21. If you watch back on my videos, I actually bought 11 terahashes. So this 21 terahash in the space of a month has come from 11 terahashes. So I really started this journey earning, well, I mean, just a bit more than that actually. But sorry, I think it was 11 and a half. I think I bought 11 and a half terahashes, and I think that's what cost me $16.50. So this was my original investment. I was earning $13 a day, and now that was when Bitcoin was worth, you know, it was worth a lot more than it was now, 17,000 or something. The price of Bitcoin went down. So for me, obviously when I first, if we do that, if I show you, this is what I was looking at when I first joined. 17, I don't know, let's say 800 Bitcoin was worth $20 a day, which at the time I thought, ooh, that's pretty good. Now obviously at the minute it's only worth, as we saw, 11.8. So the price of Bitcoin's dramatically gone down. So the amount of money in terms of US dollars I'm earning is has dramatically gone down. But really, this is the thing you want to look at, and this is how I keep trying to word it all the time. It's easy to, it depends what you want really. If you're looking to put your money into something and watch it double over the course of a year, invest in Hashflare. Whether you want to do reinvestment or not, you can just do your one-time payment and then don't reinvest and just let your Bitcoin accumulate till it gets to 0.0 0.5, and then obviously make a withdrawal, and you'll be happy probably with your return. The only thing is, if the difficulty massively goes up in that year, then obviously then you're probably wouldn't be so happy with your investment, I suppose. But if you're just looking at, like from my point of view, if you're looking at any sort of mining operation, whether that's a rig at home or doing it through cloud mining, really your goal, the way you should be thinking, is accumulating Bitcoin. So this is the only way that I can compare. At the time, Bitcoin was worth 17.8. If I invested 1,650, that means I would have been able to buy under 10% of a Bitcoin. I would have bought 8% of a Bitcoin. What's 8%? That means I probably would have been able to buy 0.08. So if my maths is right, if I was to buy a Bitcoin on that day, I would own right now 0.08 of a Bitcoin, which, as we can see here, so 0.08. So I would own more Bitcoin than I do now. Obviously, at the minute, I own 10% of that. You know, I own 0.0097. So I hope you're following me with this, guys. If I bought Bitcoin instead of using Hashflare, I would own 0.08 of a Bitcoin, which is a decent amount. Price of Bitcoin's gone down, so actually my Bitcoin would be worth less now, but I'd still have 0.08. Maybe in the future Bitcoin will be worth 50,000 or 100,000. I would still own 0.08 of a Bitcoin. The whole thought plan of doing this Bitcoin mining is that I'm hoping that within the course of a year, so really within 1 month, I'm now going to earn 0.07. So within 1 month of me just leaving this account as it is, I'm going to accumulate the amount of Bitcoin that I would have bought in one hit if I was to just buy and hodl. But I want more than that Bitcoin, so now I'm actually going to earn 0.88. So I'm actually earning 10 times more Bitcoin using this Hashflare account than I would be as if I was to just buy Bitcoin from, say, Coinbase and just hold on to it. That's my theory, that's my logic, that's my whole plan of thought. You might think, Glenn, that's not the way forward, but to me, if Bitcoin does go up to 25, 30, 50,000, 75, 100,000, even $1 million, you know, people betting it'll be worth $1 million one day. If Bitcoin was worth 100,000 per coin, that means here I would be sitting on about £971, if you like. So I'm thinking sort of future term wise. I want to accumulate as much Bitcoin as I can, and at the minute I'm looking at 0.88 of a Bitcoin. Hopefully I can get that up to one whole Bitcoin. So if it does go up to 100 grand or 50 grand, that means I can honestly sit there and go, oh, I've got 50 grand on that ledger-nano S. And people say, well, how much did it cost you to get that? And I go, $1,650. Do you see what I mean? So when you start thinking like that, it does seem very, very profitable. But that's all ifs and buts. Price of Bitcoin might hover at 11 grand. It might drop down to 6 grand. It might drop back down to 1 grand. And it might stay there for a year, 2 years. We just don't know. But you have to take your best guess of what or your gut feeling of what's going to happen and just go with it. You know, people that buy, you know, the latest craze in kids' toys for that summer, they have to take a gamble. They have to go and buy from China, you know, 100 of these fidget spinners and hope that they're going to sell them. Then they become a big craze, and all of a sudden they can charge £5 per fidget spinner when they only bought them for 50p. So you have to take a gamble on what you think's going to happen in the future if you want to, you know, make more money. Obviously, by the time that Bitcoin is worth 50,000 or whatever, it's too late then to then go, oh yeah, Bitcoin's worth 50,000. I better buy some Bitcoin. But yeah, but then you're buying it at 50,000. So I want to try and accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. So in that respect, these Hashflare accounts are very profitable. If I was to buy Bitcoin when I started 2 months ago using that $1,600, I would have 0.08 of a Bitcoin. Now I'm looking at making 0.07 of a Bitcoin per month. So by the time that year's up, that's obviously 10 to 12 times more than I would have had if I just bought and hodled. So that's my thoughts on Hashflare. Let me know what you guys think. And I think that's it, guys. I've been talking long enough. You've heard all my thoughts. I hope this video hasn't dragged on too much. I'll do a video probably again tomorrow. What are your guys' thoughts on Hashflare, envion, and also the markets and where the coins should be? Please comment down below. Actually, before I go, let's have a little quick look at my YouTube channel. If anyone out there is watching this, someone did mention that I should join, is it DTube and Steam It? I tried using Steam It and I didn't quite get it. Maybe I should spend a bit more time researching it. But you earn sort of Steam It tokens, which you can convert into other coins. But I don't know. I haven't gone down that route yet. Thank you to all the subscribers. I'm at 586 now. I would love to see this past 600, and then obviously eventually I want to get to 1,000. 1,000 subscribers would mean that I can actually, one, monetize my videos, but also it unlocks other features. So you might be thinking, oh, Glenn's just in it for the money. I'm not, because I understand that once my channel is monetized, I'll be earning about 2p a day if I do a video every single day. But it's just, I don't know, YouTube annoyed me that they took it away from me when I hit their last goal. So who knows, I might get to 1,000 subscribers and they change it to, yet again to like 5,000 subscribers or something. But hey ho, that's what happens when it's not, when something's centralized, isn't it? What was I going to say? Yeah, if I go to my channel, so with YouTube, I don't know if you know, but you have to hit certain goals before you can unlock certain features. So things like Super Chat, which I've tried the live videos, as you guys might have watched recently, and they've been really good actually. I've really enjoyed reading your chats as I've been recording the video, so I can actually bounce off what you're saying. The only thing that does annoy me is that the chats don't pop up when you watch back the video. So if I go back and watch my live video that I recorded the other day with, there was about, I don't know, 15 of us all chatting in there. You can't read those comments. So it just, in the video, it just looks like me just talking to strangers in the room, like no one. Which is annoying. You know, it would be nice if it popped up, but I think this Super Chat feature that does actually do that. You have like a little box that has like a chat going up, and you can actually read that while watching the video back. I believe, anyway. That's what I've seen on other videos. But I have to hit 1,000 subscribers before I can unlock that. Sponsorship, I have to hit 1,000 subscribers. The monetization thing, you have to be 1,000 subscribers. So there's a few features that would unlock for me if I can hit 1,000 subscribers, which obviously I'd like to use, and then get you guys more involved, because I really enjoyed that chat feature the other day. I also need to hit 4,000 hours of watch time, which I think is ridiculous, but hey ho, that's what we've got to do. So I'm at 2,814 at the minute, so I've got to do another 1,200 hours, or not me, you guys are the ones watching, and I need to get another 420 so subscribers. So if you like this content, if you agree with what I've said, I'm just a normal guy. I work, I've got 5 kids. I'm not trying to sell anyone anything in particular. I'm not trying to do anything for any commission. I've not earned a penny since doing any of these YouTube videos. And even when I talk about envion, I've done quite a few videos on envion because that's the ICO that I followed. And obviously I'm trying to vlog every stage of that. They're not, you could say with some YouTubers, they start bigging up a coin. They might say, oh yeah, this coin's going to go up in price, blah blah blah, and that's because they've probably just put 10 grand into it, and obviously if they've got a big following base, hopefully 10% of them will go out and buy the coin, bump the price of the coin up, and then they can take their 15-20 grand out or whatever, you know. At the minute I haven't got anything like that. I've been talking about envion, but that hasn't helped me in any way whatsoever, because the envion tokens are not for sale, so the price hasn't gone up or down. And the only thing really is there is a referral link if you want to join Hashflare. If you've agreed with what I've said regarding the mining side of it, you can use my link down below, and I'd love it if you did do that. What it means is I get some extra hash rate. They pay me a commission for you using my link, and I'm just using that to upgrade my hash power every time that happens. So you will be gaining me extra hash power if you was to use my link. It's entirely up to you. And that's it really, guys. I don't really earn anything from any other way. So I just wanted to really try and make it as clear as possible. When you're watching my videos, I want there to be sort of a trust level where if I ever was to be paid or sponsored, I will be more than open and honest with you guys. I'm not trying to just sell you a load of stuff. I'm not trying to gain money out of people. I love all the community that we've got. A lot of the guys now are starting to get to know me, and I'm getting to know you, and we're having a bit of banter. They're starting to advise me, Glenn, you know it's better if you do it this way. Have you heard about this? Can you talk about that on your video? So you're helping me create content. You're helping me learn new things. So I'm really enjoying how this YouTube channel's going. So anyway, that's enough from me, because yet again I've gone on way too long. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, all BitGlen at the end of it. And hopefully I'll see you on the next video, probably within the next day or two. And hopefully by the end of this week, fingers crossed, I can show you guys, obviously envion tokens do going on the market. And from that point onwards, obviously, every time I mention envion, if I help push the price up, which I don't think I will because I've only got a small subscriber base, but then yeah, I will be profiting from that if the price of envion go up. But saying that, I can't just not talk about them, because that is, a lot of you watching me are probably just following me just because of the envion token. So for me to just not talk about it all of a sudden would be a bit stupid. But obviously I'll be showing you guys them being on an exchange, and then me trying to even maybe sell a couple on the exchange just so I can practice, because I'd rather practice with 1 or 2 tokens than, you know, 1,000 and then doing something wrong and losing them all. So I'll be doing that, and hopefully I can show you guys how to do that as well, and then obviously convert some cryptocurrency back into British pounds, and then getting that British pounds into my bank and doing that, following that process as well, because I'm very interested to do that, because as of today I have never withdrawn anything from anywhere, so I have not had the joy of actually earning anything from cryptocurrency. So fingers crossed I can do that for you guys and show you, and they're the videos I've got coming up within the next week or so. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Message me any questions you got. See you later. Bye.